Oh jeez, I must have felt very, very hungry. I wonder what kind of food I might as well eat. Oh, I know. Let's eat some cake, sweets, and... Oh, wait a second. Those cakes and sweets might be a bit bad for you, for your teeth. But either way, though, I'm usually going to be taking care of this guy. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here. Excuse me, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos today. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5 for the Nintendo GameCube. So, let's just say, the past 2 weeks ago is that basically we have done the 5th board, which appears to be the Future Dream, and I found that board kind of decent. Not the best, but usually you still have to deal with the actual island hopping still. But regardless of everything else though, I still managed to able to become victoryness when it comes to able to win certain boards in Mario Party. So yeah, today for this particular, well, for today and tomorrow for this weekend, is that we're going to be hitting to the forms of the 6th board in Mario Party 5, and that's what appears to be Sweet Dream. And obviously this place is filled to the brim with sweets, candy, cakes, and you probably name the rest. Even then though, it kind of reminds me like I was being hungry and stuff like that. But either way though, this place does feel very similar to Peach's birthday cake. But let's get into the actual main emphasis on this board. As you can tell, that as far as what Peach already did manage to bypass one of those 2 bridges, that much like in Bowser's Nullity Party, there are actually 4 bridges to go through, even though as you can tell, they're only get like 2 bridges at a time. So because of this though, that if one person managed to traverse for the bridge, unlike the ones and how it does it in Mario Party 4, that, I'll get to that in a second, because this place is going to be filled to the brim with those happening spaces with their different events. Like this little ball tossing event, which is kind of fun, and also some of these happening spaces, which this magical knife will able to show up and then cuts up this slice of cake, and then basically this will actually traverse you into this place down here. So, and of course there's also another happening space right there, which appears to be more accurately some sort of like a birthday celebration event. Which, that does remind me like a birthday celebration, despite the fact that I was actually 3 months ahead from the likes of, you know, for time to celebrate everything. So, in fact, I couldn't imagine if I was going to able to try to play Mario Party 6 around that time until, you know, until autumn and stuff like that. But either way though, it knows what it is. So, and as you can see from those opponent's choices, or these characters I should say, I managed to decide to select Waluigi on this board, despite the fact that we will see him again during at some point until next weekend for the likes of the finale board, which appears to be by the forms of Bowser Nightmare and stuff like that. But then again though, we'll point it out whenever we get into that specific board. And also I brought back Boo, and also I managed to also bring back Yoshi and Peach. I think that the last time we saw Boo, I think it was actually by the forms of Undersea Dream, and same applies to the forms of, well, let's just say Peach as well. So because of that though, yeah, everything's all comes together, and I'm pretty sure that we haven't not seen Yoshi ever since. I actually think I've lost count on it though, because it has been about, well, let's just say 2 weeks since I actually did done my uploading schedules of Mario Party 5. Mainly it's because, as you guys should know, that I recently went into Dorset during the forms of the last weekend, and oh no, I did have a really great time on that particular place again. So, and at least on the upside is though, is the fact that since I'm still managed to play through, you know, playing my own time for a bit for my Nintendo Switch by able to actually continuously playing through, you know, Mario Golf Super Rush recently. And speaking of which though, actually, is the fact that you noticed ever since yesterday that The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD has been recently came out yesterday. And for my, well, we've already got the game, obviously. And what do I think about that? What do I think about the forms of the HD remastered port to the 10-year-old game or somewhat? Well, I actually really enjoyed this so far, especially noticeable because obviously with the updated resolution, and also say it applies to a smooth 60 frames per second, and I'm possibly expecting they won't be including any load times or anything else like that if you manage to able to traverse for the you know, some different portions of the world, like Skyloft and everything. But hey, at least on the upside is though, is the fact that I can now able to actually, you know, play Skyward Sword anywhere I go. So because of that though, I think I do appreciate for that purchase. Especially noticeable that how most Zelda fans might be pretty happy about the fact that rather than just forcing to deal with motion controls all over again, unlike the Wii version they have to force to use the motion controls to begin with because of Motion Plus peripheral. But thankfully though, you can now able to actually use the button controls, including the forms of the right analog stick on the right Joy-Con or the Nintendo Switch Lite, depending on what Nintendo Switches you've got. And basically you can now able to actually use the right analog stick for, well, basically just do all sorts of like, sword swinging motions. So, it kind of feels like it's some sort of a replacement, as in one of those, button presses from the likes of, well, let's just say Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and, well, not exactly for, well, Twilight Princess for the GameCube, obviously, but, for the Wii version of Twilight Princess, not exactly, because you have to use motion controls in order to use the sword, and also stay applies by the forms of utilizing some of these weapons, like Hookshot, for instance, but either way, though, it knows what it is, so... In fact, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day. What do you think about the forms of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD recently? Have you played it so far, and you've actually enjoyed that particular Nintendo Switch version a lot more than the forms of how it does it on the Wii version? Although, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed the Wii version, but sometimes the actual motion controls can be a bit temperamental at times, mainly due to the forms of the actual calibration and stuff like that. And also, the requirement is to use the Wii Motion Plus peripheral accessory, so that could be also say applies to other, like, you know, other titles as well, such as, for instance, Wii Sports Club on the Wii U, and of course Wii Sports Resort that comes in with the forms of Wii Motion Plus accessory, and also what else is there? Oh yeah, Nintendo Land for some attractions, you know, with the forms of you know, with the forms of the Legend of Zelda Sword Quest kind of attraction, even though it has been quite a long time actually, since I actually did manage to last touch upon Nintendo Land, just because of the forms of the Miiverse is shut down and all that stuff. So, relatively speaking, there's not much else to say about that. So, even though I was going to plan to go back into that game eventually, but not now though, because I was really into the forms of these two games at the moment, such as, of course, I will still be back onto Mario Golf Super Rush at the time, by the time whenever I'm pretty much done with the forms of Skyward Sword HD first. So, which can be pretty noticeable because, as you probably already know, then I'm still a huge The Legend of Zelda fanatic, so expecting to believe about the fact that I can able to be looking forward to able to try out something new or anything entertaining and all that stuff, which I have no idea why I just say things like that, I must be honest with this point right there. But anyway though, so another thing that's worth noting for is the fact that well, I'm pretty sure that Cap King 74, or Stuart, if that was his name, basically he will be 22 until next week. So even then though, well, to be more specifically, well, let's just say next Sunday. So we can expect we can able to actually just to do more recording sessions on Mario Party 5 by that time. Oh, sweet, I got myself a 10. So yeah, here's the main emphasis on this board as well, is that I've already mentioned about this before, these little bridges right there. However, you remember the forms of those specific bridges from the likes of Mario Party 4, that in Bowser's Nully Party? Oh sweet, I got myself a glorious hidden block. Awesome top-notch lucky spot. But I do really like the aesthetics about this particular board though. It feels a bit interesting to say the least, because again, it does remind me of Peach's birthday cake from Mario Party 1 because of all these cakes and everything. However, the actual main emphasis on this board though is that, well, obviously it's now been like a standard Mario Party, well, you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's what happens right there if you land on these specific happening spaces. It doesn't matter if it's in the, a creamy cake, question mark spot, or in this case the happening space, or the chocolate cake, or pretty much the other happening space from almost at the beginning of the board. So you're always going to be able to actually stop at the right point in the actual plate. So yeah, that's something worth noting for. So yeah, we've already played these basically, so there's not much else to really say about this honestly, aside from the fact that, well, once again I did manage able to put up of our, you know, minigames lists to see that what some of these minigames that we have not played yet, for the sake of time. But at least we can able to do Rumble Fumble again, so again, it's the only minigame I wasn't terribly fond of, especially noticeable because it can be a bit randomized each time whenever you replay the minigame over and over again, and it's just, well, you're gonna have to utilize the Rumble feature most of the time, so but I digress. So, talking of which though, actually, is the fact that, with those bridges that you saw, that, you know, the ones that how it usually acts out the same thing as the Bowser's Nolly Party from Mario Party 4, well, unlike in Mario Party 4 and Bowser's Nolly Party, that's, basically in Mario Party 4, that 3 players must able to actually traverse for that breakable bridge, and then if the third person managed to make it through the last breakable bridge, and basically once that bridge has been crumbled completely, then the bridge will able to actually just switch over to those different directions. So it kind of does the same thing from here, except the fact that the biggest difference is now that only one person can able to actually went for the bridge, and then it'll switch over. So yeah, it feels kind of similar to Bowser's Nolly Party. However though, I will say, I do like this board a little bit more than any forms of how it does it on Bowser's Nolly Party, for a small extent. Which, even then though, that might be seems a little bit more obvious standard decisions to able to discuss upon. So of course Paratrooper Capsule is there, so great. We're gonna have to lose coins, aren't we? Especially after when I continuously winning some of these minigames occasionally, but either way though, whatever. So another thing is worth noting for is the fact that since that we've almost done with the forms of the actual party boards in Mario Party 5, and then sure enough we're able to get onto the extra stuff here and there as well. So yeah, I can't even believe we actually just managed to win for this game quite fast, honestly. Despite there are some slow moments here and there, especially if you ever play us on the PAL regions, because unlike the NTNC version, to be more specifically the American version, or the Japanese version I should say, things get a little bit more faster just because of the forms of 60Hz mode, and especially noticeable with 60 frames per second or somewhat, so okay, so let's see, I need 4 or higher, but thankfully I did manage to equip the mushroom capsule to myself, so in this case I got 8, and a 6 makes 14. 14 is a pretty good number, I must admit though. And let's see what capsule I got, the Hammer Bro capsule, which despite that I somehow lost 10 coins from that, you know, Hammer Bro capsule event from earlier on, but either way though, at least I can able to actually just to deal with it, so especially that, you know, every time whenever you replay those boards over and over again, then basically some of these capsule events might able to place a bit differently, so which you probably get the idea about that specific rate, so now I'm just gonna go up, and basically I can able to, am I gonna get enough space for able to actually just, or what's this? Okay, so we have ourselves a Goomba capsule event, and oh, okay, that's okay, I guess, because aside from the fact that it's just only for like 3+ coins, so I might be alright with that. So yeah, basically that Goomba event, you know, act out very similar to, you know, trading coins as in the chance time events, so except you now need to deal with the forms of the roulette wheel as opposed to that roulette, you know, timing block event from the likes of the chance time capsule event. So yeah, there's not much else to tell for the sake of time. Although, I'm pretty darn sure that whenever we get onto the forms of Mario Party 6 or something, that things get a little bit more differently when it comes to the forms of, well, the Goomba capsule or the orb event trap. So anyway, so let's see what Yoshi got. The coin block capsule that he seems to manage to able to go for that point, so. And And I do even remember that, I don't suppose if you noticed, that whenever when Slim Kirby did manage able to did this board, that he got screwed over by that one coin loss from Mario, from the likes of, well, to be more specifically, trying to get the minigame star. And I was like, damn, just god damn. That was actually kind of a scarce victory for Mario as a computer player. But regardless of everything else though, is the fact that, well, the only time we do actually lost by one coin, well, despite the fact that we still win, in any other Mario Party board playthroughs, to be more specifically with these Let's Plays in mind, that, obviously, you know how the fact that since that Sonic did manage able to win, Waluigi's Island in Mario Party 3, although he did manage to able to get, you know, the minigame star, no problem, but as far as the coin star is concerned, well, he basically lost by one coin, and then I was just like, wow, that is so scarce when it comes to able to let that happen, so... But either way though, let's not get ahead of ourselves at this point right now, just because, well... Since that, oh no, that helped the fact that today's day is of course the 18th of July today, in this case in 2000 and... No wait, sorry, it was actually the 17th, I totally forgot about that. Maybe I keep on thinking of something else for a moment, but either way though, yeah, today's day is of course the 17th of, you know, July today, so in this case though, we are still on 2021, and you know, we're still pretty much guaranteed that... Oh, does it really help me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peach, for able to actually help me out for the sake of the coin boost. I do appreciate about that. So anyway though, I'm probably not going to use those capsules at the moment, although, kind of think about it, what's the numbers I do need? Nah, I'm probably not going to use it, so... 8. 8 is actually a pretty good number, but, I'm also able to actually get the next capsule if I recall. And I get the mushroom capsules, so that's pretty awesome. Especially noticeable that I need to get ourselves a lot of good, you know, movements throughout. Although, to be honest with you, I think I should probably go this way, because... Although, despite the fact that I land on the red space, of course. Although, kind of thinking about it though, is the fact that I'm pretty sure that that bridge managed to able to actually... Well, that bridge on the very beginning, it's gonna take me to the left, because otherwise, if Peach managed to able to make it to that... Oh, what the heck? Another Paratrooper event. This could really drag on. Especially noticeable, oh, it's only 3 coins, so it's not too bad. Especially it's like, not much in comparison, to say the least, but still. But, anyway, speaking of which though actually, is the fact that once I'm done with the forms of, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD on the Switch, I'm also head on to the next Zelda game before I'm able to continue the completionist in terms of some of these Zelda games in mind. Like, I'm still in the middle of the forms of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, just because now with the forms of DLC expansion pass that I've already got, and so far I'm still actually enjoying it still, despite the forms of frame rate issues, like when it decides to dip, every time there was like too much stuff on screen, and that's pretty much how you can usually think about it, and either way though, I still enjoyed it nonetheless, but I still probably need to get back into it, well, at least for the most part, so... And it looks like Yoshi got screwed over because obviously with the forms of that Koopa Bank that he did manage to able to bypass through, and that might be kind of a nasty, that can be pretty much a nasty spot if you're able to try to go after the actual, you know, the star itself. Especially noticeable that the Koopa Bank space is almost right next to the actual, well, you know what I mean. Alright, new minigame, Bus Buffer. Polish the roof of the bus completely. The team that clears its bus first wins. So basically it's the fact that we need to clean up the roof part, and that's all you have to do. Even though controls wise might take a while to get used to with this though, but I'm sure enough we're able to get this right, so... In fact, whenever the first time I played this game back in new forms of, very long time ago actually, I couldn't figure out what the controls are in this, but the more I'm grown older, the more I'm used to with it, so... But I digress. So, once I'm done with the, you know, Zelda Skyward Sword HD, I think I should probably hit onto the forms of the next Zelda completionist game I would like to able to do on my own time. Like, for instance, I'm about to be doing, well, let's just say the Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. Although, if you're probably thinking that, what about the original version of the game on the GameCube? Well, I would like to, but, the only downside to the forms of the original GameCube version is the fact that with the Triforce Pieces quest, that the GameCube version might able to actually be a lot more tedious than the forms of how it does it on the Wii U HD remake, because obviously that the Wii U version is definitely a little bit more superior just because of the graphical overhaul, and also the same applies to the forms of the Triforce quest kind of thing. And oh jeez, Peach managed to get screwed. Especially that she managed to lose a half portions of her coins. You can imagine if I managed able to land on that, then I would lose a whole bunch of coins. So that might be not that great of a plan, but either way though, we'll try to avoid that as much as we can. Well, assuming if someone managed to able to get rid of that specific space event, so alright, so let's see, 10, that's good, and 7, so that makes 17. Pretty good number, I'm not gonna lie, which, either way though, I would like to able to, like, go down there, but, I'm actually gonna be able to try to, go straight forward, because, I get the strong feeling that I might able to actually land on the happening space, if I'm assuming for that correctly, so, but I don't know, we'll find out eventually, which I think I might able to land on the happening space. Yeah, I was about to, because I got 3 movements left, and boom. So yeah, this is what happens right there, everyone gathers up, and then basically I was on the actual podium, and then trying to celebrate my birthday and everything, and after when this is over, well, basically you can able to not only take everyone else's coins, but also capsules and even stars included. So it kind of reminds me of the forms of the legendary Big Boo event from the likes of the forms of how it does it on Mario Party 2 and 4. But well, unlike those two games, is the fact that, well, you won't be able to actually interact with the legendary Big Boo. So instead, you're able to actually only take 10 coins if it lands on the coins, but then if you land on the star, basically you take everyone else's stars. So yeah, that could be summarized as such. And if it's capsules though, then I'm pretty sure you will able to actually take everyone else's capsules in particular. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up for that event. So, I don't suppose that everyone else can able to actually land on that event. Although I'm sure enough that some, people already did. So, I thought I was able to mention that. Shy Guy Showdown. I think this is a new minigame we can able to play through. And this minigame will make a comeback in the top 100 as well. So, press the button on the sign that the Shy Guy holds up. Whoever presses the correct button first wins. So think of like quick draw Crocs from the likes of you know, Mario Party 2, but a little bit downgraded just because of the forms of there's no best out of 3 or anything. It's just basically just 1 point, and that's pretty much about it. So, and obviously this minigame would there we go. So yeah, there's no best out of 3, so it's just literally 1 point. So what's the point about this minigame? And, again, it does remind me of one of those minigames in Mario Party 2, being the same setting and everything, but, the biggest difference is that we don't usually wear, unique costumes and stuff like that, so, it knows what it is. And again, as I said this before, this minigame will make a comeback in the top 100, which, I might be alright with it, but it's just I'm not a big fan of it, though. Mainly due to the forms of how short and quick that minigame can be. Although sometimes, much like the forms of Mario Party 1 and 2, when it comes to Shy Guy Says minigame, you got to be very careful when Shy Guy raises the sign, because sometimes it can either be fake or just a button press. So, yeah, that's something worth noting for. And we still have not played Triple Jump yet, which I was quite shocked about that, because even then though, well, we still managed able to actually, well, I think we still only got, you know, 3-4 player minigames left, so we could expect we can able to show those off eventually, but unfortunately not now though, so, but at least we're doing this again, so. It looks like that was actually a pretty good distance right there, and I get the feeling that, yeah, Boo just managed to knocked out. What a fool for Boo, anyway. So, again, there's not much else I can honestly try to say for this point, guys. It's just the fact that, well, usually I'm just pretty much going to be going back into some of these, Zelda games on my own time, especially noticeable because, after all, that this year still marks the 35th anniversary of the series, which it seems to be more specifically true. So, at least expecting we can able to actually see some more, you know, surprises and everything else like that, to be more specifically with more merchandises here and there, but either way though, it knows what it is, so. And Peach managed to land on the happening space, which she'll probably go right next to where the star is, so even though despite the fact that she hasn't got that much coins, like she only got 2, due to the forms of that happening space that I just landed on from about 1 turn ago, so yeah, I guess that pretty much sums up from here, and let's see what number I can get. Oh well, no big deal, I'll take 1 any day, especially noticeable because I don't know if it has the fact that depending if computer players might get very lucky by able to making a star, but either way though, we'll find out. We'll find out as soon as when, you know, if someone gets the higher roll or anything else like that, so. Oh jeez, Boo managed to get screwed. Especially not only does he get himself a 1, but also he'll lose 6 coins from that Hammer Bro. To be more specifically 6. And also I do really like the music in this board as well, because either way though, it almost feels like a sweet, sweet paradise. In fact, this does remind me of Sweet Mountain from the likes of Sonic Colors a little bit, except the fact that rather than just having ourselves machineries and also energetic rock music or anything else like that, it's just a pretty nice little sweet music in the background, so at least I appreciate about that specific stuff. And also, this place does remind me of Sugar Rush scene from the likes of Wreck-It Ralph. If you ever seen that film before, then you should probably still recommend it. Especially noticeable that that film is going to be almost 10 years old until at some point next year. So I can't even believe time itself is went flying though. Alright, so we're doing Leaf Leap again. Although some people usually just try to say that this minigame right there, Leaf Leap, is actually kind of similar to Awful Tower from Mario Party 3, although except unlike in Mario Party 3 Awful Tower, it's the fact that you no longer gonna have to deal with the forms of stiff movements this time around, so yeah, that seems pretty much how it goes, and I keep on messing things up with the jumps sometimes, because I seriously swear to God, that's hard to memorize with the forms of the actual jumps I can have to put up with, which, yeah, I think I might as well able to lose this, but, I did try, I really did try, but it's just the fact that my faster movement speed wasn't exactly all that, you know, relevant, I should say. But I'll let, oh, Boo somehow wins. Okay, I'm quite surprised for this point right there. And, especially noticeable that after when he's been through for a lot of, you know, hazards, like, you know, Hammer Bro, Capsule Event, and, also the duel minigame that it usually becomes over within a few seconds notice. But, you know what I mean. So, alright, so let's see what Peach is gonna get. She gets a 9. So, and of course she probably is not gonna get that star. So because, you know, she doesn't have enough coins for, you know, just trying to able to get that star. So, that might be seems unfortunate for her. So, and another thing is worth noting for as well is the fact that, oh, what's this? Oh, okay, so she managed to got herself the super mushroom right there, so that might be seems lucky for Peach for trying to get that item like that. So now I do apologize if my commentary itself gets a little bit more awkward at times, most notably because of the forms of I actually got something stuck in my throat, so I'm probably not gonna do it right now, just because you might able to find this a bit revolting and stuff like that, which, I'm also able to do that once I finish this commentary, so, I do apologize for that. I'm not exactly sure what capsule I got, but I'll find out until the next turn, so, 7. Alright, so I wonder what space I could possibly try to land on. Yeah, let's get the capsule from the capsule machine. That some people usually still complain about that they just wish they weren't able to pick what capsules do they want. Oh no. Oh no. Ah! I got screwed. Ah, there goes a half of my coins. Ah, I should just able to get rid of that. But apparently it seems like someone else doesn't seem able to do it, so because they just can't be bothered to able to actually just trying to get rid of the capsules like this. Although I'm sure enough that Yoshi might able to actually make his way to the other side of the board, so... Although thankfully though, unlike the ones how it does it on Mario Party 4, that usually that the bridges doesn't seem to able to go into this endless loop, because as I said this before, that, you know, in this particular dream, on, you know, Sweet Dream, that only one person can able to go for the bridges this time, as opposed to 3 players. So at least, thankfully, you don't have to worry about that, you know, going around the loop and then loop and then loop every single time. So, yeah, you get the idea. And we're once again going for 4-player minigames again, which I was expecting if, still no luck. Still no luck for able to try to think about, you know, trying to able to play the last 3 minigames for sure, which, I was pretty close on that front. So, yeah, that's as far as I can say in terms of Sweet Dream. And, one more thing before you're able to notice something like this is that, what's this? Is it this correct? Ah, it's definitely wrong. Sometimes I'm not great with this minigame because there are a few times I keep on giving myself a little bit of a confusion's sake, so... Okay, I wonder what this is. Ah, no one gets that. I gotta make sure I need to able to win this. Although thankfully the last one is relatively easy, like A. But I get the feeling that Peach might able to win that, so... Oh well. No big deal, especially noticeable that I always get confused by that minigame, so... Well, at least most of the time. But anyway, in terms of the actual start difficulty in Sweet Dream, it will probably be a 3-star difficulty out of 3. So, yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. Very similar to, you know, Future Dream, and alongside with the forms of Bowser Nightmare, which, we'll get into that at some point again until next weekend. So, yeah, you probably get the idea. Oh jeez, she actually got a miserable roll right there. Like, she got herself not only 3, and another 3, and also 1. So, yeah, that's totally a bad roll right there for Peach anyway, for, you know, utilizing the actual, the golden, or super mushroom, I should say. So, and it looks like she's gonna go for coins, and she's betting on 7 coins. So, yeah, let's see what minigame are we gonna be playing next. So, oh god, I'm not a big fan of this one either. Pound Peril. Oh jeez, Pound Peril. Find the one switch of the 12 that will not inflict any harm. The other 11 are hidden surprises of pain and misery. So, this minigame is pretty luck-based because you never know of what those switches will able to do to you. So, it's gonna be one of those random luck-based minigames for sure. Like, usually, I'm still not a big fan of those luck-based minigames because, well, they sometimes manage to able to put up with a lot of luck-based minigames, and it's even worse in the forms of the dual minigame selection in this game. Because, well, unlike 4-player minigames though, well, there's only one in particular, which we still haven't come across into it yet, and only one of them, which we already did seen, by the forms of Random Ride. And, yeah, because that minigame is heavily borrowed from the likes of, you know, date the races from Mario Party 2, and as well as the forms of the other, like, 4 dual minigames that have utilized luck-based elements to it, which, yeah, this is definitely one of them for surely, which I'm not a big fan of, which, thankfully I did manage to win, though, by complete accident, by, you know, coming across into luck elements to it, but, still, you're gonna have to put up with this specific stuff, you know? I would classify if able to utilize in the, actually, couldn't think about it, I'm probably not gonna use my, warp pipe, although I'm also able to well use that, so able to try to, you know, screw up Boo and stuff like that, well, we'll find out. And sure enough, I did. Even though that it might be seems a waste of opportunity because I'm almost right near to the actual correct direction, by able to actually go right where the star is. And speaking of such, I got 5. So, fine, I'll take my 5 coins away from you, so I might be alright with that, but still. I'm quite surprised that we've pretty much almost at the halfway point in this board already, despite the fact that usually some of these events might tend to drag on a bit, well, to be more specifically with the actual Paratrooper capsule events, like we already come across into that twice. So, alright, the next star space is gonna be, right there. So I don't know who's gonna make it there, but I'm sure enough that Yoshi might able to make it, despite the fact that he hasn't got that much, you know, coins to his disposal, so, yeah, that might be seems totally obvious for the sake of time. We're still on turn 9 though, so, yeah, I think it might actually be a little bit more relative at this point. And what is Boo's gonna land on? Of course, the blue space, so... And yeah, that's as far as I can say, honestly, because even then though, I would like to mention about more things in particular, but it's just the fact the matter is though, is the fact that I've already explained quite a few bits and bobs for, you know, the Zelda thing, and also so applies by the forms of how much I do enjoy Dorset on my own time. Like, that was actually a pretty cool place. Especially noticeable that I've managed able to go onto the beach section, which even then though, that I would like to able to go on abroad, but of course we can't still, just because of the forms of you know what I mean. So in this case Yoshi's now gonna force to go to the right, as opposed to up, so yeah, I guess that's totally obvious for the sake of time. And let's see what minigame we are playing next, and it's gonna be a 4-player game again, so... And we've already basically played pretty much all of these, so... Except for the other 3, which I've already mentioned about this already, countless amount of times, but we'll do Wildflower again. I'm still quite surprised that I've almost beat this minigame for under 10 seconds or less. If only for the fact that with, if I was trying to, you know, unlike intense difficulty with computer players and all that stuff, they probably will do that, but either way though, I was gonna be able to noticing this. But at least I still win anyway. Whew, jeez, I think my fingers are actually getting a little bit more painful every now and then, but nowhere near as painful as the, you know, just trying to do anything else, which I have no idea what I was saying for this point right now, just because, well, not much else to talk about, as I said. So, alright, so Peach gets a 3, so in this case she gets like a pretty low roll, so... It seems to be more specifically because either way though, they always attempt to go for low rolls for like a few moments notice, and of course I've got an 8, so what is that gonna lead me to? Okay, another happening space, even though it's on the exact same spot, so... Whatever, just take me back into that exact same, location as what I went to before. I couldn't imagine how the fact that I was able to expect to get the happening star, because I can't even believe I managed able to actually got pretty lucky when it comes to showing you guys the another happening event. Although, again though, that sometimes trying to land on happening spaces can be a bit tricky at times, especially noticeable if you really desperately want to land on these so badly. Even especially noticeable when it's like, whenever we get onto Mario Party 7 and Mario Party 8, that's you know, some of these bonus stars will get shuffled every now and then. Especially noticeable because either way though, things are about to change, so... Alright, so once again, oh, can we get this? Ah, so close. We're literally so close to able to showing off Frozen Frenzy minigame, which, either way though, I was expecting if that would be the case, but nope, we are doing Grand Pound down again, so I might be alright with this. Which is fine by me, because I don't mind this minigame at all, even though it gets repeatedly every time whenever we get into the 4-player minigame category, which it might be seems to be the case. So, anyways, let's hopefully just try to able to do, well, trying to be the fastest character as possible. Well, I was exactly if I was going to do some occasional butt stomps, or in this case the actual stomping ability from the likes of Sonic Mania Plus, which I attempt to do, but I can't do it in the actual reality world, but well, you know what I mean. And of course I did manage to win the minigame as always, and well, that pretty much settles it from here, and yeah, my controller keeps on rumbling every time whenever we get into this ending sequence right there. So, because I still managed to able to got the controller rumble turned on, so that'll be pretty useful for me, especially in some of these minigames like, you know, Rumble Fumble minigame.